Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Sunday coffee with the Omnibros. Welcome in, everybody. Big shout out to everybody always showing up in the chat here already. So thank you for your support and for being here on a Super Bowl Sunday. I am Gabe Loves 90s Comics, and joining me is not my son, but my boy, Comics Guide 101. What's up, brother?
Howdy, howdy. How's it going, man? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Are you going to watch the Super Bowl today?
No, I'm not big on football that much. I mean, I'll watch it on occasion and I follow some of the stuff, but I'm not huge on it, and I really don't care about anybody that's playing. So
I just don't I don't care about sports. I used to watch the Super Bowl for the commercials, and most of the cool commercial corporations pulled out. So
yeah, when these days it's completely different than when we were growing up, because it would be you got to watch the commercials because they only show them during the Super Bowl or like for a limited time. Now you just look at the commercials, and any trailer that you want to see that they're going to show for a movie, it's up in like 20 seconds online.
Exactly. It reminds me a lot of how Hall H trailers were for San Diego Comic-Con, where that used to be really cool and all, but then with the age of instant streaming and instant internet, it's right there. I mean, you don't need to be a part of Hall H to see trailers. So yeah, same thing with commercials. Plus, who cares about sports? We're talking comic books today. Today we're talking Shelfies. We're also deep. I don't know about how deep we're going to really get into it, but we are going to also talk about episode 5 of WandaVision. So, we will give full warnings before we get into the chat, and before we start getting into that discussion, we'll put the spoiler warnings up on the screen so you know that when you can dip out, you could come back, especially if you're watching this on the rewind later. But we're going to make sure that if you want to avoid spoilers, you don't want to know about how Aunt May showed up as the Herald of Galactus on WandaVision this week, then you can miss out on those spoilers and come back later and check out our discussion after you watch that episode. But if you haven't seen WandaVision yet, you are missing out because it was badass. Yeah. So,
and I really don't know how you avoided that massive. Like at this point, how you avoided that massive ending of this week of WandaVision.
Yeah, I almost got spoiled. I avoided it. I dipped out of our own group chat because Ryley was kind of talking about it more than I really wanted to hear. Right. And then I thought, because I was downloading my podcast for the day, and Rob Liefeld's podcast had some things. And then I was like, oh, man, did he just freaking spoil it in the description? Luckily, it wasn't, but I was just like, all right, cool. Like, because they kept talking about there being like a Luke Skywalker appearance in Mandalorian type reveal. So we'll get into that a little bit later, though.
Yeah, I have my thoughts on that as far as what that is.
All right. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and speak about our awesome, amazing sponsor, InStockTrades.com, who are the folks that sponsor this wild show each and every episode, every week. InStockTrades.com. This is the #1 spot to get your trade paperbacks, hardcovers, omnibuses, all your collector editions, and graphic novels at steep major discounts. I'm talking at least 32% off, all the way up to 42, sometimes 50% off hardcovers, omnibuses, all of that stuff. So instead of paying $150, $125, prices of omnis are just going up and up and up and up and up.
Yep.
Don't be crazy. Don't make the wrong choices. The best choice is InStockTrades.com, where you get free shipping on orders over $50 in the United States. They help us out every month with a $50 gift card giveaway that we give out to one lucky viewer. Anybody's available for that across the world for a free $50 credit at InStockTrades.com. You pay for the shipping on those books. Wonderful customer service, the best packaging around. That's right, everybody. InStockTrades.com is the place to be to find all your awesome books and collected editions.
Well done.
And Thank you, sir. I can't do it anywhere near as monumental and iconic as our boy Jess. But
Yes.
what's
Sounds
up, buddy?
like you hit all the high points, though. Very well done.
Awesome.
Jess, can you hit us with the jingle real quick before we keep going?
That's InStockTrades.com.
Thank you, sir.
Doesn't feel right without that velvet voice that is Jess Bragg on a Sunday afternoon after taking some much needed medication and coffee.
Yeah, it's working. I'm not there yet, but I think I can contribute in a positive way, and if not, I'll just be quiet.
Well, cool, man. Hey, I'm glad you showed up, Jessica. I know you were saying that you weren't feeling good, so I'm glad.
Yeah, sure.
You pushing through today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm always happy to be on. It's fun.
All right, so Jess, in case you didn't know, we're talking Shelfies today. We got an awesome Shelfie setup for our boy Parker luncheon.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to talk WandaVision.
Okay.
Because I dipped out of our chat because you guys were getting into it Friday morning. Like no chill. It was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh, and I was trying to be like a little passive about it. Like, am I the only one who hasn't seen this yet, guys? Yeah? Am I the only one who hasn't seen this yet? Oh, you're going to keep talking about it? All right, I'll see you guys later.
And these guys really go in depth. I don't have that many theories or anything because I'm like you. I want to get surprised, but there's some very analytical discussions going on in our chat about what this means and what that means and who's going to be involved and all kinds of things.
And that's the thing. It wasn't like Ryley, you guys are really getting into like spoilers, but yeah, like Ryley and you guys like to really drop like your theories and things that might not happen, but that helped me kind of start connecting dots. And I'm like, no, I don't want to even, I don't want any ingredients. I don't like any of that stuff. Like even now, because you guys know how I am, I don't look at anything spoilerish or even anything.
I'm the same.
And things show up on my Instagram where it's just like the next episode where it shows just like, like a picture of Vision doing like the most mundane thing. And I'm like, I don't even want to see that. Like I'm scrolling past. Like I can't look at any of that. I don't care. I want to go full in with no like nuggets of anything that I'm thinking is going to go on. But
right. I agree.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm glad I didn't look. Oh, I get rewarded. I don't mind discussing what happened, but I don't want to listen to Ryley because he can put too much together to that makes too much sense. I mean, his theories can come true, and that kind of wrecks it for me because he knows so much about Marvel, the Marvel universe, and so I don't want to know what his theories are because they're probably right. I do know that a lot of things. Are we talking WandaVision now or Shelfies?
We're going to do Shelfies first, I think. Let's get Shelfies out the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then not out the way. That makes it sound like we don't really care. But I mean, let's do that, and then we can get deep into WandaVision because the WandaVision talk might get a little long.
Yeah, let's do the funny books first.
The funny books, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So again, now today is the first day of Wave 2 of Shelfies. Wave 2 of Shelfies. And like I was saying, this one is going to be from our boy Parker Lunchenbach. And we've been doing this for so long. The date that he sent us this was like the day of the pandemic.
Oh, damn.
Oh, my God.
The email is dated March 17th, 2020.
Wow, we really are backed up with this.
It's not even that we're backed up because I mean we skipped. There's a few times where we just kind of just skipped a week or we didn't get around to it or whatever. But we just had so much support for this, and people really want to see their collections up on the show that we were just bombarded, and we have like literally like 70 plus Shelfies in wave 2. So we're gonna have to kind of maybe do more than one in the next couple of weeks, or do 2 or 3, or see what we can figure out to kind of get through it. Like,
Yeah.
not that we don't want to do it, but there's just so much, and people have been waiting and all that kind of stuff too. So, all right,
Mr. Awesome. Did you see that comment?
just the after credits scene for that season 1 finale.
Thank you, Psycho Seb. I woke up with a migraine, and the medication takes a while to work, but I can focus a little bit here, I think.
Awesome.
Fortunately, I don't have to say much during Shelfies.
Are you watching the Super Bowl, Jess? Do you even care? I know your team's not even in it or whatever, and you have a thing against certain players.
That's it.
You had a prejudice.
I have a thing against a certain player, and I want to see him go down. So I will be watching the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Did you put a bet? I
No.
remember that.
I haven't placed a bet since I visited you in Vegas. I got reinforced what a crappy bettor I am. Oh my gosh. This is like the guy strutting into the casino with a cigar in his hand and 2 women on his elbows and just saying, boom, bet it all, Papa, and just walks out just in tattered clothes.
Yeah, it was leisure suit, Jess. But it was fun because you did those bets when we were at that one pizza place
So
that had that really hot waitress.
Oh, yeah. The really nice waitress who I think had a thing for you because I was talking to her, but she wasn't talking back much to me. You and the waitress had the conversation going. Yeah. She was decent.
All right, so let's go ahead and we've been talking about it. Let's get into this Shelfie real quick. I'm doing this a little bit different. This is a little bit of a different means that they changed some stuff here on StreamYard. I can share video files. Let's do this. Chrome tab. Is this going to
I'm going to say 50% chance we see an Absolute Watchman.
Absolute Watchman.
That's always a safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
Safe bet. So again, this is from Bach. He didn't want to send his entire collection. His email stated that he wanted to showcase some of his favorite books.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. It's something fun. So we get here. This is one of my favorite books. Is the J. Michael Straczynski Thor run, and this is the Michael Turner variant cover, which is really cool.
Was this put out when Ed Brubaker's Captain America was still out of print?
This was, like I said, a year ago. So yeah, this stuff is all out of print.
Yeah.
I think me and Master might have been still new, but now that's like there's not that many whales left in the community anymore because of all the reprints.
Yeah.
But Massacre is definitely like it's like a $300 book. So good on him.
Oh, now it is?
I think a $300 book now.
Wow.
Things have been blowing up crazy, like not just Omnis and stuff like that, but I was looking earlier today at trading cards, like the old school 90s trading cards, because I did that video on my channel where I opened up all the Jim Lee packs of the X-Men trading cards.
Oh, yeah.
So, other trading cards, and those trading cards right now, guys, is like $300,000-$400,000 for unopened boxes of trading cards in the 90s.
Are these the Marvel trading cards?
Marvel trading cards. Yeah.
I used to, when we first got married, we used to go to this church where we got married in, and every Sunday on the way back, I would stop at this small comic book store just to get those cards. I was so into them back then.
Oh, I loved it back then. It was the best. Like that was because they didn't really have. This is totally off track, but whatever. They didn't really have like those Marvel handbook comics anymore. That was more in the early '80s, So for me, the trading cards was like my handbook to the Marvel Universe. It had like appearances and their power set, all that kind of stuff on there. But yeah, like unopened boxes of those trading cards are like hundreds and hundreds, thousands of dollars right now. It is outrageous.
Unopened, or what happens if I opened them and they're in a desk drawer?
75 cents.
I loved them. I got excited opening those, and of course at the time I'm 30 years old, but I never did get around to organizing them, so they're still in a big wad in my desk.
That was my thing. Is I would go to the comic book store and I would get comics, trading cards, and they were everywhere. Like I would go to the gas station with my parents and I get trading cards there. Like they'd be at the front counter. You could get, the Marvel Universe trading cards. Yeah, it was a big thing back then. It was the best. Love that stuff.
I'll have to go find those. Maybe I kept some in good shape.
I have a couple unopened boxes that I bought like a long time ago when I was working at Torpedo. Like some guy wanted to sell all of these like trading cards. Back then, nobody cared. But no, we can't buy trading cards. Like nobody's going to buy this from us. So I bought 4 of them, 4 boxes of unopened trading cards from the guy for like $5 a piece. And like I looked on eBay and I was like, oh man, I might need to turn these around pretty soon. Yeah. Anyways, so Thor, we got the Captain America Brubaker, which is just back in print. New X-Men here, which to me, this is a must-have. Like when people talk about must-have Omnis, New X-Men by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely is definitely one of them.
One of my favorite X-Men runs of all time.
100%. And for me personally, this is the last time for me personally that I felt the X-Men was like a must-read like event title.
I would say the same up until was Whedon after this? Whedon was after this, right?
Was it concurrent or is it after?
I think it was just after.
Whedon came after Morrison. Yeah. I would go X-Men as a team, or are we not counting X-Force? Because if it's X-Force for me, it was Remender's Uncanny X-Force.
Oh, 100% for sure. But I'm talking about like the major X-Men title.
Okay, major X-Men title, then I would say Whedon until the Hickman stuff, when he was doing like the House of 10 and all that stuff.
No, I agree. I think it's Grant Morrison. I wasn't sure about when Whedon was. I thought it was concurrent more or less, but yeah, it was that. And then for me, nothing really, like little blips maybe here and there until Hickman.
New X-Men and Astonishing X-Men were the first 2 Omnis I read of any modern Marvel, and that's what got me into X-Men. And like, then I read Iron Fist by Brubaker and Fraction, and that's what got me into them. And then my LCS guy just kept giving me what he thought were the best runs, and he was 100% right. Astonishing and New X-Men is really what got me into modern Marvel.
Well, you got yourself a good LCS who's like, you need to read this, you need to check this out, you need to check this out.
He knows the good stuff.
That is good.
Was it Morrison that really brought, I'm probably wrong on this, I'm not really that big of an X-Men guy, but was it Morrison that really brought Emma Frost kind of to the front, like the forefront of the X-Men team? Because he was the one that introduced the secondary mutations. Right? And didn't Emma Frost like develop the diamond thing because of Morrison? I'm probably wrong on that.
No, I think the diamond thing was before Morrison. White Queen Emma Frost was kind of in the forefront-ish, if you want to count her being the headmaster or headmistress, whatever, for Generation X.
Mm-hmm.
But then up here in New X-Men, I think is when she became a major part of like the actual like first string X-Men team.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was my first Marvel crush. Just like my first high school crush, I remember. Emma was my first Marvel crush.
Mm.
That was Rogue for me.
Rogue, okay.
90s Rogue, yes, sir.
Oh, dude, Psylocke. 90s Psylocke for me.
Yeah.
90s Psylocke? Well, I had a crush on Rogue, but 90s Psylocke put me through puberty.
That Jim Lee drawing, you know, the one that everybody thinks
Yeah,
of.
I can picture it right now.
Yep. That one, her in the bikini coming out of like the lake or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's that one where she inexplicably walks out of the shower as Scout was walking by, and she's just in this towel. Yeah.
Are those in issues, or is that part of the swimsuit issue?
No, that's I think that's X-Men #1. The Jim Lee, the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont X-Men #1.
Oh,
God bless you, Jim Lee.
yeah. I mean, totally.
Ultimate Spider-Man, which is a book that nobody really cared for a long time, and now it seems to really be on like everybody's radar. I guess it's like out of print now or something, and then there was no volume 2 or 3. You had to hunt down the hardcovers for that run, and there's like 2 or 3 of those things that are like crazy whales still today.
Which kills me because you would think they would put out a second volume considering how popular that series was.
This is my Spider-Man. Like after the Clone Saga, like I was really into like the Mark Bagley Spidey. Clone Saga really messed me up. Not because I thought Clone Saga was garbage, but the whole thing with the faking death of the baby and Norman Osborn stealing their baby and stuff like that really hit me. Like I was like, that's too heavy for me. And it was Ultimate Spider-Man that brought me back into Spidey, and it was this Ultimate stuff, the Ultimate Universe at that time. Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, the Ultimates, all that stuff was better than the 616 titles.
How did you feel about the decision to make Gwen Stacy? I guess kind of spoilers for Ultimate Spider-Man, like a 20-year-old comic. How did you feel about the decision to make Gwen Stacy Carnage for that first initial run?
That was weird and like really creepy how they did it.
Yeah.
Like it's really sad, and she was like a clone too or something weird.
Some crazy shit like that.
Yeah. Crazy 90s, crazy Ultimate Universe stuff. Next picture over. Oh, we got some great Daredevil stuff here.
And Fantastic Four.
Yep. My favorite Fantastic Four run.
Yeah.
That's in the Omni form.
I like the Shelfies in this way. Just his favorite books.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that idea as well.
Is that the Hickman run? The Fantastic Four?
No, this is the Wade Ringo.
Mark Wade.
The Wade run. Okay.
Yeah, this is I always recommend this as a good jumping on point or a
Yeah.
good introduction to the FF.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I've never read it, but I would say from what I've heard, that's a great jumping on point. And I would say that if you're curious about Fantastic Four, maybe stay away from Hickman for a bit and really get your legs under what exactly a Fantastic Four is and some of the characters and stuff. Because Hickman, he's very plot heavy. It pays off, and it's one of the greatest Fantastic Four runs ever. But it helps if you know a little bit about the characters and some of the villains and stuff.
I would never recommend Hickman's Fantastic Four to somebody who hadn't had at least a decent amount of Fantastic Four knowledge.
There's too much happening in that book.
Yeah.
It spins off of the other stuff, like the Mark Miller stuff, or they introduce New World comes from there.
Yeah.
So it comes with like a prerequisite and some baggage.
Yeah.
The Mark Wade stuff, you could just jump in and it's like from the beginning.
I think it's my favorite Fantastic Four, but Hickman's is too complicated.
Yeah.
For a beginner, I think.
And Ecstatics Omnibus, whatever. No, I'm kidding. That's a fun. It's great. Mike Allred stuff in there. This is really fun when it was coming out too. Not a book you see a lot on people's shelfies.
No,
it's out of print now, I think.
Oh yeah, it's out of print. Yeah.
It's a gem. That book is a gem for anybody out there. It's funny. It's got great characters, and it's a different side of X-Men that you've probably never read.
And if you're if you have some kind of weird condition or undiagnosed problem with Mike Allred art, then you want to stay away from it.
Undiagnosed problem.
I love Allred art, man.
Yeah, his is the kind of art that's just like it's either you love it or you completely just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I fall in the camp of loving it.
Mm-hmm. His art in Silver Surfer is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
It really is.
All right, Lou, you got some stuff here that I know that you love.
Hey, there we go.
With New Frontier.
Yes, sir. One of the best DC comics ever published.
Is this the newer? That's the newer Absolute, and it has the extra issue in it, right?
Yeah,
with the blue spine. Because mine doesn't have that extra issue. Mine's the original one, and it has like a different spine on it.
I had to buy the deluxe edition of it to get the extra issue, and then they reprinted that with the extra issue. So I've got both.
It gets you sometimes that way.
Yeah, there's my favorite, Absolute Justice.
Yeah, our boy Jim Krieger.
Yeah, and there's the $35 copy of Crimson that we all got from Amazon.
I passed on that. I didn't get into that because I never read it when it was coming out. That was that one cliffhanger book that, unfortunately, I think was just overshadowed by the other people in Cliffhanger, which was Danger Girl and Battle Chasers. So I never got into that, and I was also never. I just didn't get Humberto Ramos's art style back then compared to everything else. But you got the Martini Deluxe slipcase here.
Oh, that's a thing of beauty. That whole collection is beautiful.
I think this is the newer version because it says on here it has the over 75 pages of unpublished material.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's the reprint.
Oh. Why don't I just put it all together and buy reprints because they're getting so much better? That's crazy.
We're supposed to get a second volume later this year with like writing from Ed Brubaker, which that's we might as well give the Ed Brubaker Best of the Year award already to him for next year.
And of course, Mobius and Jodorowsky's The Inkle.
Yeah. At the end of the year list, can we just do an Ed Brubaker category just for himself? What was the best Ed Brubaker book that came out?
We did that this year.
Did we do it this year?
Yeah, we did it this year where we just talked about all the Ed Brubaker books. It was the Ed Brubaker category of which was his best book of the year.
He's going to have a couple books of Reckless, and then the reprints of Criminal 1 and 2 are coming out this year.
Oh, man.
So there's books right there. The Parker thing.
I envy the man. I don't know how he does it.
Okay, I don't know any of these books.
Yeah, and that's enough for me.
So there's some art books on here which are cool. J. Scott Campbell, Marvelous Art Books. That's what
these are art books.
Yeah, those are art books. I'm not sure what this Jamie.
I think he's the guy that animated Gorillas. The Gorillas.
Jamie. What was it? Jamie
Howlett. Didn't he create the illustration for the Gorillas? That group, the virtual group.
Yes, he did.
So is that Jamie Howlett stuff right below Jamie Howlett? I don't know. No, Citizen Kano. So I'm lucky I recognize Jamie Howlett.
There's some good art books, though. That's cool. We got some naughty stuff here.
Ooh! Thank you for the tape.
With the Drawing Beautiful Women Frank Cho method.
Is that green tape or is
I think it's one of those. He did it on his phone, like
a
little scribble app thing or something.
Wait, do I have that? I do have that. I want to see what we're looking at.
Well, obviously boobies and some other stuff. And then this Ed Piskor Fanographic Studio Edition, which is really cool. I haven't seen anybody put this on their Shelfie yet. This is basically an artist edition of Ed Brubaker's work when he was doing the Hip Hop Family Tree novels.
This must be some good stuff because I put it so high up that even I couldn't reach it.
Wait. Did you pull it down? I can't see it here. Let me stop this real fast.
Oh, I don't have what? Can you show that again? I don't have that cover.
No? Which one you got?
I do have a cover that has some stuff that should be blanked out, but it's not that particular cover. My cover is that cover.
Okay.
No, I can't show that part. This is the most I can show.
I got Frank Cho's he did a Kickstarter for John Beautiful Women. I got that. I don't think
Maybe. Oh, is that what that book was?
I don't know what that one is. I haven't seen that one either. The one that Parker sent us.
Oh, whoa. Maybe I did kickstart this. It came with a bunch of here's this Liberty Meadows stuff. Oh, I didn't know I was on the air. Here's his Liberty Meadows stuff when he was drawing that, I think right when he was out of University of Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's a sketch page. These are all on really nice paper, by the way, glossy paper.
Oh, that's cool. Kind of a head rotation thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have these face down, so I don't know what I'm picking out. This is drawing just the female body. I can show you this part. He also has front and side of this. And then, oh, wow. Can't show you that.
Oh, man. Wow.
I'll show you off the air. He is really, I forgot. Sometimes I forget how good an artist he really is.
And he draws like such realistic looking, like thick women too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that ink.
Yeah, all those folds in the blanket is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's an awesome guy too. He's really nice. We had a couple signings of him at Torpedo.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Let's see what else is here. I think I can show you this. This looks like I can show you this. There's nothing exposed there.
It's all cute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can't show you that.
Emily's mom's in it.
Nope, can't show you that. No, oh, we're in the part where okay, we can show you this. I think this is what is this?
Shauna the She Dragon, I think.
Oh, okay.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to keep this book down now so I can actually look at it. It was so high up, I could barely get it.
All right, let me get back to Parker's stuff real quick.
Ooh, Terry Dotson's Bombshells. That's what was up there, too. This must be good.
This is going to turn into Jess's art book show again.
Oh, boy, he's great. Okay, sorry. I got caught up in my own collection.
All right, and somebody in the chat mentioned that this Ed Piskor Studio Edition also has some original art from X-Men Grand Design in there too. That's cool. And that's it.
That was a cool way to present your favorite books. I highly approve of that. That was fun.
I just need to have that where it's not just everything, but it's fun to have out your top favorites too.
I wonder if I could would YouTube? Okay, maybe I'll do an experiment. I'll make a video of my own just showing all my art books and see if I get. I won't even monetize it, so they can't demonetize me. I'll see if they censor me.
Okay.
Who's
in the chat? Who wants to see that? Come on.
You should monetize it and see if it gets demonetized, because that's when you know it's something not YouTube is against it or something.
And Michael Emmon is exactly right. High up, away from my wife's sights. She's shorter than I am, so her line of sight is much lower. But you can't even get to. I don't even know how I got there. It's actually up. It's a Billy shelf that's up all the way to the ceiling.
He also says he's down for that. He says other people won't admit it in front of other people, but they're in. A lot of people in.
A lot of people are saying they're in.
We should just do a little art book episode. We could just do it on the show too, or something.
Please, not your iPad again. Yeah, Joe Cool. I heard that experiment didn't go well. Sorry.
I think it was fine. It just took you a while to kind of just get it going.
Okay. Well, it sure was a great picture. I'd love to be able to do my videos from that because the picture was super clear. And if I'm doing my movie books, you're gonna want super clear shots. I think. So, maybe I'll make it a charity, and everybody can donate for. Oh, is that how comic books for kids would really want their money, though? I was thinking YouTube couldn't censor a charity fundraiser, could they? Like, anybody would super chat in $5, and I'd promise to send all the proceeds to comic books for kids.
You do booby books and the crust.
I wouldn't do the crust. Yeah, Oxmeat Pete's right. It is art. I kind of like this idea.
Jess is in it.
Yeah.
Right. You guys want to get into WandaVision?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tap out for a second. I gotta go pee, but I'll leave.
Have you seen it now? Have you seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I loved every second of it. I'll be right back though.
Lou, do you look at the Omnibus Collectors page at all anymore?
No, I don't follow the group. I'll pop in every once in a while. Pop in
because you'll want to see this. I'll private message it to you since you can't see it on the group page. But Hayden McGee took the picture of me as Wonder Woman when you and I dressed up.
Okay.
There's an app that melds it onto Gal Gadot's face and her body in Wonder Woman. And I have to say, I look pretty attractive that way. And a little disturbing, but it was really funny. He did that, and I posted it on the Omnibus Collectors page, and it's pretty funny. I'll have to. I will. He PM'd it to. Well, wait. I'll just PM it to you now. I'll forward it to you now. It's really funny. He did it for Taylor Brown too. And Tyler Blunt. Okay. He said I made a cursed image.
We have the best fans, man.
Okay, I'm sending them to you now. Do you have your phone with you?
Yes.
Okay, that was sent.
It's actually not bad. It's not bad.
And whoops. Let's see. I think there's 2 here he sent me. Okay, there's 2 more.
It's not terrible.
Let me see what one I sent you. I kind of like me in the last one. I think I look pretty decent.
You talking about those Wonder Woman like face bumps things?
Yeah.
I'm gonna share that. I'm gonna go in the group. I'm gonna find.
Okay. I'm sending him to Lou because he doesn't look at the Facebook group anymore.
Oh, you're gonna see it now. Let me find those skins because it's nightmare fuel.
Oh, come on, man! I think I look good in one of them. And then he did Tyler Blunt.
That's the problem. That's my nightmare is to be, beautiful older man looking like Wonder Woman.
Let me send you the one on Tyler Blunt and Taylor Brown. Great.
I just saw the Harley one.
I'll forward. You want me to forward this one to you, Gabe, so you can put this up?
No, I'm just gonna share the group.
Well, no, he did one and sent it to me of Tyler Blunt and Taylor Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me. This one of Tyler Blunt's great.
Put it in our chat or something.
Huh?
Put it in our chat and I could share it.
Okay. The
Omnibros chat.
Okay. And then the Taylor Brown one's good to you. I mean, also good too.
They come out a little small, but I think people get the idea. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
All right, so here's Tyler. Good old T-Lar Blunt T-Bone, right?
Right.
And then
Oh yeah, that does come. That's weird. That does come out small.
Oh, there you go.
And there's there's the original picture of me, yeah, and then there's all the I don't know. That's a horrible face. Now look at that.
yeah, that one's scary. That one's like, oh wow. Oh wait, that's Jess. The Harley one's got attitude.
The Harley Quinn one actually blends in pretty well.
That's that.
That's that. Hayden, you're genius.
All right, ready?
Oh,
I think I'm broken.
it's a good thing we have that under spoilers.
Yeah. All right, so let's just give everybody a time. This is going to be the WandaVision spoiler section of our discussion. So now's the time for you to tap out if you didn't tap out already with the face swap videos. And you can come back after you watched episode 5 of WandaVision.
All right. You just want to talk about the ending? Just go right to it.
You want to just get right into the ending, the big reveal?
Yeah.
No, okay, real quick first. They said that there was supposed to be a Luke Skywalker type appearance, like Luke Skywalker returning in Mandalorian type appearance. Do you think that this is what they're talking about?
No.
That didn't move me to tears.
No, I don't think it's that. Because his appearance was leaked online weeks ago. So we knew he was going to be in the show. For those of, I mean, we can stop talking in vagueness, but Quicksilver, Pietro shows up at the end of the episode. It was leaked weeks ago that he was involved in the show some way, and everybody was like, well, he's obviously going to be Pietro.
But which Pietro was it?
What do you mean? Well, are you saying he's from the Fox universe, Pietro?
That is the Fox.
Yeah, it's the same actor from the Fox universe one.
Was I don't remember, because I've seen all the X-Men films. Was he killed in one of the X-Men films?
Mm-mm.
No, it was the MCU version of Quicksilver that was killed in Age of Ultron.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So this is a different brother from a different universe, but she recognizes him as her brother.
She didn't recognize him.
She didn't recognize him.
Watch the episode again. She does not recognize him.
Yeah, she was kind of too much in shock to really say anything, it felt like. But then Vision was like, hug your brother.
Mm-hmm.
How did Vision know it? He's dead. But he does have his own he has his own thoughts because he's the one that's calling her out on everything that's going on. How is he doing that?
Vision is, well, in this episode we see specifically Vision is no longer, he's breaking free of whatever Wanda is doing. He's becoming his own thing, because he's part of the Mind Stone. Like they say, they keep referencing like one mind or something like that. They're of one mind or something throughout this episode. But he's also part of the Mind Stone, which is why he's also able to do the thing on the guy's head or whatever it is, and he snaps him out of it. In a great and kind of creepy moment where the guy was saying, she's in my head. Like, I can't get her out of my head. Please let me go. The guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy at his job, which that is such a red herring that I'm thinking it's not Wanda that's in his head.
But somebody's taken over the entire town, and
Right.
the kids think it's Wanda.
Right. The general thought is, okay, that's Wanda, but I think it's either Mephisto or it's Agatha herself that's doing all this.
So you still think she's being manipulated by somebody else? It's not her full on doing this.
Right. I think it was like a few weeks ago, I was in agreement with Ryley. I was like, well, it's probably not a villain, but this episode, Wanda even says in a quick blink and you miss it moment, I don't even know how we got here. I don't know how this all started. So I don't want to. I posted this long post in our group chat. I don't know if you guys read it or not. Where I think personally, in the first few episodes, they keep saying we're doing this for the kids, and
Yeah,
my thought is Wanda in her grieving state is either she goes to Agatha or Agatha comes to her and says, we can give you or you can have the life you want, but you have to give me something in exchange. And that deal is that she made for those kids.
the twins she has.
She made the deal for the twins. This is me pulling from like fairy tales and stuff like that, because usually when you make a deal with the devil or with in fairy tales with anything, there's a sacrifice. There's something you have to give in exchange for it. Like in the story of Rumpelstiltskin, she has to give up her kid after a certain time. So I think that could be it. I can give you the world that you want, but there comes with a caveat for it.
Would Agnes do that to her though?
This is the MCU. They've changed characters before.
Oh, I'm still in the mindset that I think I believe what's going on. It's Wanda who's in charge of everything. Like she's the one doing it because she was able to like expand the hex globe or the hex energy field when she got really pissed off and brought more people into it.
I was in agreement with you, but we're starting to see that she doesn't have full control of this. She even references before Pietro shows up, I didn't do that. That wasn't me that brought him back.
And Vision recognizes that there are no other kids in the town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the playground. So if they've really taken over the town, if she has or whoever's pulling her strings, whichever it is, so where are all those kids? Is a good question that he notices. And what are some other things I noticed? There's definitely shade thrown at MCU Captain Marvel from Monica.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that probably stems from her not being there while her mom was going through cancer.
Yeah, I think she blames Captain Marvel for what happened to her mom or for not being around.
But that she doesn't equate it to Thanos? Does she think Captain Marvel could have defeated Thanos?
Yeah, she was the one that said she's the one that said that it was Wanda who almost defeated Thanos. And then it was Darcy and Jimmy Woo who was like, well, what about Captain Marvel? And then she kind of just got
so where did those feelings from? Because in the Captain Marvel movie, they were buds. Yeah,
she was a little girl in Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Marvel disappeared because of the thing that happened with Thanos with the snap. Because she went and it was like, this is affecting more than just Earth. Like this is affecting the entire universe. And she universe hopping around or whatever.
There are more worlds than this.
Right. So I think maybe she just felt abandoned by her and she wasn't there when her mom was sick and all that kind of stuff.
Because they were best friends back then in the 90s is how the story went. But Captain Marvel wasn't around when Monica's mom was going through the cancer treatment. So I think this is an assumption, but I think there's a bit of resentment there. Like how could you abandon your mom during this time? And I think that's going to be, I think that they're going to play on that in the next Captain Marvel movie, and maybe we'll actually get some character development for the character. I would really like that. I think they're going to really focus on that of that relationship with Monica and Captain Marvel, and hopefully it'll build up Monica even more into a hero herself.
Because now she's reading. She's got. They did a scan of her, and she's got extra photon levels or something.
I'm curious if it was Wanda that gave her her powers or awakened it when she kicked her out of the sphere.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I would love to see Monica Rambeau kick ass, man. I would love to see that version of Captain Marvel
as photon. Because she's got elevated levels of photons in her now. All of a sudden, I need to watch this episode again.
There's so much going on in the show. And
yeah,
this is only episode 5 of 9, so they seem to be escalating ever since episode 3. It's just they keep escalating stuff.
Yeah,
there's a lot that happened in this episode. I think it's gonna be Xavier. Just ballpark, wild guess. I think it'll be Xavier that shows up at the end of the series.
That's what I was thinking. That was this Luke Skywalker moment. It would have to have been like Magneto or Xavier or the rest of the X-Men. Not just, her brother showing up. Because they kept telegraphing that they were bringing back Pietro in this. Like the whole episode.
Yeah.
Oh, you can bring back the dead, right, mommy? Like when the dog dies and all that kind of stuff. And it seemed like Agnes was kind of egging that on. But they were really kind of telegraphing.
Well, yeah, she brought back Vision, so.
Well, the only three characters you could bring back per se that would have that Luke Skywalker moment for a lot of fans would be Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, or Ian McKellen.
Deadpool.
I would love to see Deadpool show up in this show.
That'd be good. That would be actually good. And of those three, I think you've already done a send-off for Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman. Maybe they'll bring in Ian McKellen, or maybe they'll bring in Michael Fassbender as a younger Magneto. So for me, it's either going to be the young Professor X, or it's going to be Magneto, Ian McKellen, or Michael Fassbender.
I think it'll be Michael Fassbender because they brought back that version of Pietro is, a younger version of Pietro, right? Because that stuff is all in the late 80s or whatever, the X-Men films.
I just think that they telegraphed it way too much. It was leaked online a while ago for them to bring in Pietro and be like, oh, that's our big Luke Skywalker moment.
Yeah, because the whole thing with Luke Skywalker is that you didn't know who it was going to be that was going to show up until you saw that X-Wing and you're like, could it really be? Like, no, they were going to do Luke Skywalker. No. And it was like, oh, no, it was Luke Skywalker. But we'll see. I mean, this show is really fantastic. It has just been a great ride. People didn't like the first 2 episodes, and I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I liked that it was black and white and it was kind of campy, and I think the way they did it is those first 2 episodes were shot really cheap, so that they could save the budgets for like these bigger events happening in these next episodes. Because
I love
episode 3 and 4 felt like a movie. Like it looked like a movie. It looked like it had been in the theater.
I love the first few episodes, and I would have been happy if it was just those episodes without the really cool things happening in between. But that made it that much more interesting, bringing into the world.
I mean, she keeps talking about she knows this. God, it seems like they keep talking more and dropping a little bit more hints. I might be reading into it too much of Fantastic Four. They're talking about like missing astronauts and astrophysicists and cosmic energy and things like that. So that's gonna be the thing where if you like somehow like the FF show up or like Johnny Storm shows up or they do more Fantastic Four stuff that actually shows, I will. That's a Luke Skywalker moment for me where I will lose my shit.
This for me was the first episode where I started to kind of tire a little bit on the sitcom thing. But I think they struck a good balance with it. But towards the end of it, I was like, I'm kind of starting to, man, I want to know more of what's going on. And I'm not as interested in the sitcom stuff as I was the first few episodes, as good as it is. But that's simply because I'm dying to figure out what the whole picture of this is.
Yeah. I love the family ties type episode. It was like Family Ties and what was that other show that Kirk Cameron was on?
Oh, Growing Pains.
Yeah, it was like a mashup of that.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like, but it didn't have a lot of. It wasn't straight through TV show like the first two.
Mm-hmm.
There was the twins aging themselves up, and how'd that happen? I mean, the twins can just age themselves up when they want to.
That's what it seems like. I mean, Wanda went from like baby bump to having babies in like one episode.
Yeah. That's true.
And she even told him, like, when the dog died, like, no, you can't age yourself up to like avoid this. Like, you have to face the idea of death and death being permanent and that life lesson. So
right.
We'll see what happens. I mean, I really hope that they turn into like Wiccan and Speed, and you get Hulkling, and you get the young Avengers to come out of it as well.
Yeah, Sasmer brings up a good point that they were rolling the credits like Wanda was trying to get out of the episode, and Vision just kept talking right through, and the episode just continued into Pietro showing up.
Yeah, I like that because I felt like they were doing like an after credit scene.
Yeah,
you know, I got curious and I checked the time on that, and that was at the exact 30-minute mark.
The credit rolling.
The credit rolling hit at the exact 30-minute mark. I was like, well, let me check this. And at 30 minutes, it started rolling credit and hitting like if it would a regular TV show.
That is cool.
It was a nice little touch. I was like, oh, wow, that was a good touch. I love that this opens up so many possibilities as to mutants and who can come into the MCU and who cannot now. And this just even opens up more of the possibility if it is, in fact, Pietro, because there's a possibility it might not be him and it might just be somebody else, or it could be Agnes, or it could be Mephisto, and she's playing on her emotions. But this just lends more credibility to the reports that apparently we're getting multiple Spider-Men in the next Spider-Man movie, and like Doctor Strange, and how that's all going to play and stuff like that. I'm super excited as to all the possibilities and all the doors that this opens up, and bringing in all the mutants now. And
right.
Are they going to bring in some of the MCU, the Fox mutants? And are we going to see Michael Fassbender come in and play Magneto in the MCU and all that? Which I fucking love Fassbender as Magneto. I still want my Magneto Nazi hunting movie. I still see that. I'm excited, man. I am very much excited for this. I mentioned it in the chat, and I want to know what you guys think. How would you feel if instead of Wolverine, we get Logan, we start off with X-23?
I don't know about that. I think in order to get X-23, you got to have Wolverine first.
Yeah, since she's a clone of him.
Right.
But I can honestly see them going, okay, let's go with X-23 more because she's younger. So we can have that actress around for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
We can kind of still keep that mystery of what her origin is.
I totally want an X-23 movie. I know that. Or TV show.
Mm-hmm. A pull from that Tom Taylor run.
Yeah.
I hope they bring Channing Tatum in as Gambit. That we never got, that I always wanted.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a
movie.
Yeah, Channing Tatum was tapped to be Gambit. And that was all going to spin out of the last X-Men movies, but you know, the Fox thing fell apart, and you know, Disney bought them out and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
All right, I guess that's.
I just want to say that this, I think Lou's right. This is a perfect bridge. They have written this perfectly to bring in all those other universes and the Spider-Verse or whatever. They're making it. They couldn't have just brought in. I mean, they could have just brought in Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and stuff, but they're doing it a lot more organically now, where it seems plausible that this creates a ripple in the space-time continuum or whatever, for lack of a better word, that lets those characters all be organically part of the MCU. So this show is perfectly positioned to do that, and that's just great writing and great thinking by Disney or whoever's in charge of it. That's really good thinking to have that be the bridge that leads to everybody coming in.
It's easy enough for everybody to understand what happened. It's not like it just, it's some big complicated continuity thing, kind of like what was going on with Fox's X-Men, where there was 2 different X-Men characters, and it was. But now it's like, okay, well, what happened? Well, Wanda changed reality, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah,
maybe it's like the reverse of House of M. Instead of no more mutants, it's like, okay, now we have mutants. Now it's the X-Men coming through this gateway.
And I won't be happy until I get an appearance of this guy. That's who I want to see.
I'm going to highlight Oxmeat Pete's comment here. I don't know why people even question Marvel movies and TV shows. They hit it out of the park every time.
Yeah, I don't go on the internet, so I don't know who the people are that question this. I like to sit in my chair and just let it wash over me and say, this is awesome, because it really is. It's so fun.
We haven't had a Marvel Universe movie in almost 2 years since Far From Home. And we get this, and it's one of the greatest TV shows that we've gotten during this whole pandemic, last couple of years. Wait and the frustration, and it's worth going through this one episode at a time as opposed to them dropping all 9 episodes at once. I love that they're doing it one episode at a time on a weekly basis. One, because it kind of fits in with the theme of it being a TV show, and also just it gives the idea and it gives the opportunity to us to kind of discuss it and dissect it and all of that, as opposed to knowing all of it at once and being we could just talk about the whole thing at once. Being able to talk about it bit by bit, piece by piece, and see where we can make things fit. So
it's a shame. I think this is going to be a one-off. I don't see where they could go with another season so far after this. They're pretty much closing this story and Wanda grieving and dealing with her grief, which was just one of those moments where it hit really hard when she's talking to the kids and she basically tells them, you can't run away from this pain, because they have the dog Sparky, and Sparky dies in the episode. And the kids, they want to age out of it and just run away from it. And I felt like that was kind of Wanda. I think this is also Wanda subconsciously dealing with all this grief and all this pain that she hasn't been able to deal with, because it was her brother dying. It was the fact that her husband / the person that she loves dies. And she never really got time to deal with it because it just happened so fast and pretty much back to back.
She was responsible for all that stuff that happened in Wachovia. Black Panther's dad, that really set the MCU into a downward spiral. That started the Civil War, and that started the breakup of the Avengers.
And it makes her such a compelling and really interesting character, because she is running away from all this pain. She is running away from all this grief, and she doesn't want to face it. And that could be also why I think that led her, if my theory is right, to Agatha and be like, look, I just don't want to deal with this. I want to live a perfect life with the man that I love, but I didn't get that chance. It got taken away from me. And I can love that we are finally seeing Wanda as being one of the most powerful characters in the MCU, because that's how she is. She is scary, powerful in the comics, and we're starting to see glimpses of that. They mention it in the show. She could have taken out Thanos by herself if it wasn't for Thanos pulling that Blitz move where he has all those rockets fly down or whatever it was. So I love that. I absolutely love it. I think Wanda's becoming one of the most fascinating and interesting characters through this show.
And that's more Elizabeth Olsen. Everyone.
And this goes along with the idea of Marvel Comics in general, is that Marvel Comics, their characters are characters that are flawed. This is what kind of separated from the DC universe, where the DC universe, Superman and those characters are all kind of like super perfect. But when Stan Lee and Jack Kirby started doing the Marvel universe, these characters were characters that had flaws and they were relatable. And it was Spider-Man who lived in a crappy apartment and had to either choose between fighting the villain or getting Aunt May her medicine and things like this, where we can understand how hard it is to deal with life and with grief, and you want to just kind of get away from it. And you see that with Wanda, and it's very relatable, and it's very like you see yourself in that, and that's very much Marvel Universe.
Did you catch what book Vision was reading to the kids?
No.
Oh yeah, the Darwin book.
Yeah, it was Charles Darwin.
Theory of Evolution.
It was something of man. It was a nice little nod that the mutants are coming. I love that.
Well, I kind of named the dog Sparky because wasn't it the name of the dog in the Visions comic?
Yeah, he was Sparky too, and they brought him back from the dead, sort of.
Yeah.
Poor Sparky.
I'm waiting for it. I mean, I'm thinking, they had the kind of Easter egg of the Grim Reaper, and who knows what else could come out of it. Grim Reaper could come out of it. Wonder Man can come out of it. Because that was kind of like the origin based of the original Vision with the Wonder Man's memories and stuff like that. Who knows? There's a lot more to come out of it. I mean, there's only 4 episodes left, but that's a lot of time and space to kind of flesh this out a lot more. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we've seen the biggest of it yet.
No, I agree with that.
And I just want it all right now, but I'd love the episodic once a week format they got going on.
I do too. I'm glad they didn't release it all, just like they did with Mandalorian. It's much more effective.
And I'm really now, because of this, like, what are they going to do with Falcon and Winter Soldier? Like, if they're making so much of this, this is all going to span out and continue with the movies. Mm-hmm. What more are we going to get out of Falcon and Winter Soldier too? So,
the accent.
Yeah, it appears she gives it another shot.
No, sweetie, no. Okay, just drop it. It's okay. Nobody will miss it.
I will admit she's not Meryl Streep when it comes to the accent.
But I like how the only time you really hear her use the accent is when she's outside of the hex.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know if she's trying to slip into it or not, and she just can't really nail it. But she sounds normal, and then like 2 or 3 words she'll say it in a Russian accent. It's like, just drop it. It's okay. It's all right.
Is there more to I may be reading too much into this, but is there more to I can't think of his name. He's in charge of S.W.O.R.D. now.
Oh, the jerk?
Yeah.
Asshole guy?
Is there more going on with him than, I'm just going to throw it out there. Maybe there's more going on with him because his jerkiness seems so out of character with everybody else in S.W.O.R.D. and Darcy and the FBI agent and everything. They just want to get to the answers, whereas the chief of S.W.O.R.D. seems to be over the top, almost in how he acts.
Well, he tries to kill Wanda too.
Yeah,
but he snuck in that armed droid or drone.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
which was the dumbest thing. It's the stupidest thing.
Yeah, Darcy and what's the FBI agent's name?
Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo. Sorry, I'm sure that's racist. I'm sorry.
Atlas, right?
Huh?
He's some Agents of Atlas, isn't he?
Yep.
Right. Is he the monkey, the big gorilla guy?
I think he's the leader of the Agents of Atlas.
He's just a regular guy in Agents of Atlas.
Yeah.
Name of the monkey, the giant gorilla from Agents of Atlas.
Someone right here.
Hey, love Agents of Atlas.
Gorilla Man.
Did you catch that little reference to the first X-Men movie with all the guns pointing at her and how they got turned?
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know.
Great.
Yeah.
That was
There's a
great.
lot. I mean, they might be just that might be just how they bring in all the Fox characters. You know, why recast everybody when you already have, you know, legitimate actors that have, who have experience with playing these roles now. So why recast them? You could just bring them in and make it like Wanda did it. Oh, okay, that's believable. I'll deal with that. Wanda made it happen with her reality powers. So perfect.
I'm good with that. Yep.
I'm good with it. Yeah, please bring it in. Let's get the X-Men together already. Like X-Men, Fantastic Four. Let's get those Fox characters going already. Especially Fantastic Four. God, please make this happen. Make it happen. It's gonna happen. Just give me what I want.
I still think there's something going on with that Sword chief. I don't know what it is, but he seems over the top. Whereas everybody else is like, let's just find out what's happening. He's like, let's kill her.
Oh, you think there might be a twist coming our way with him?
A twist?
Yeah, with him. You think?
I'm not Ryley here. I'm not gonna predict anything. I just think he's not who he seems. So because he's acting so differently than everybody else. What's his agenda? Why does he want to destroy Wanda so badly when everybody else is just like in curiosity mode and trying to reason with her?
I hear what you're saying because he's very dismissive of everybody and any of their suggestions or points or research. So maybe let's see. I mean, I'm in for the ride. So I'm stressed.
Yeah.
I just want a Jimmy Woo and Darcy show where they go around and explore all the weird shit that happens in the MCU. Just give me that.
I just enjoy Darcy's OnlyFans.
So there's like sort of an X-Files team.
Yeah, I would love that, man. An X-Files, Fringe, like Jimmy Woo show where he goes around and like the parts of the MCU. Wow.
What is?
And his partner could be Stiltman or something. I don't know. Something like
Stiltman. That. Oh, that's better.
I love that, man.
There it is.
I don't know. I just want to show. I think there's the Uncanny X-Files. There we go.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The Collector, Punisher, and Daredevil. I think they're kind of already in the MCU without actually, like during those Netflix series, they mentioned things like the attack on New York. They talked about Thor without saying their names, but I think you could easily they were already in there. I don't think you do much to really.
Isn't Daredevil from the from the Netflix show supposed to show up in the next Spider-Man?
That's the rumor.
Yeah, apparently he already filmed his scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, which I was telling you guys months ago how great would it be if Matt Murdock shows up and is Peter's lawyer.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Like, that might just be what happens,
Yeah,
he's Peter's lawyer after the events that happened after the credits events of Far From Home. He shows up and he ends up being Peter's lawyer.
that would be awesome.
All right, so are we done with WandaVision? We take down the spoilers.
Yep, I'm good with it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the not spoilery edition of Omnibros Live. We're a little over an hour. We're about an hour and 14 minutes. You guys, ready to make this happen?
Sure.
All right, Jess, since you're here, can you do the honors of the second spot for the ads?
Sure. InStock Trades is our sponsor, InStockTrades.com, where you can get 50% off, up to 50% off on your collected editions. 2% loyalty discount is thrown in with that. At the end of every month, they're kind enough, IST is kind enough to give us a $50 gift card to give away to anyone in the world. You just have to pay shipping. You can win in a contest for that $50 gift card. $50 or more in an order in the United States gets you free shipping. And there's fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
right. And everybody can join us tomorrow again, where we'll be talking about hauls, reads, and this week's releases. So join us tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, Eastern. I always forget, for the big Monday show. So with all that said and done, Lou, where can everybody find you at, bud?
Okay, at Comics God 101 on Twitter and Comics God 101 on YouTube, where you can catch my archive of old videos that you can see.
And Jess, plug your
Omnidogs Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram.
And everybody, you can find me Instagram Gabe Loves 90s Comics, and I might be starting up my channel again here on YouTube.
Oh.
Stay tuned to see what's up with that. I got some new ideas and stuff. So with all that said and done, thanks again everybody for showing up, everybody in the chat. Super awesome for everybody to be here on a Sunday. Enjoy your Super Bowl, be safe, wear your mask, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace and love. Peace and love.